these particular concepts. What exactly is SAP HANA? What is not SAP HANA? Okay, what are the various operations that we can do in this particular SAP HANA? Okay, as well as what are the various components that make up your SAP HANA ecosystem. These are all the things that we are going to discuss. Okay, fine. I'm trying to use a Excel sheet for our demonstration purpose and all for some time, and I'll be using the PDFs along with the Microsoft PowerPoint presentations, okay, in order to show you what exactly we are going to use here, okay. So this is SAP HANA, and first thing about this SAP HANA is read as high performance analytical appliance. High performance analytical appliance here. High performance analytical appliance. Okay. In this high performance analytical appliance, let us see what we are planning to do here. The databases in today's IT can be classified into two types. Okay, let us start discussing the first type of classification. Those are nothing but the classical databases, right? Classical databases. Classical databases. We call them as classical databases. So, what are the examples we can say here? We can have Oracle. Okay, you can have SQL Server. Okay, you can have something like Teradata, MS Access, and Netezza and all. Okay, all these particular databases, what happens is that they reside within your hard disk. They reside within your hard drive, or else they reside within your hard disk, right? So this is what is your secondary storage, and they reside within this particular hard disk basically. Okay, now you can have some applications that would like to access the data that is present in this particular classical databases. So that means that I can have any applications, whether it might be ERP applications or else whether it might be analytical applications also. Any ERP or analytical applications would like to access the data that is present in this particular system, in this particular secondary storage disk. Okay. Now the question is that can these systems will access this data directly by querying the information here? All these systems, okay, all these particular applications cannot directly access this data. Why? Because what we need to have is that in between your secondary disk and in between your applications, you're expected to have one more component that should exist. That particular component is what is called as the main memory. Okay, that particular component is called as the main memory, and we also call this one as the RAM. Okay, this is also called as the RAM here. So that means that what is expected to happen is, see here, what is expected to happen is the data from these particular systems. What is the data here? Let me show you here. What is going to happen here is the data from these classical databases need to be transferred into RAM. Okay, so this is the place where you are supposed to process this data. This is the place where you are supposed to process this data. Okay, once we process this data, then only the end information or the end results will be given to your either your ERP applications or your analytical applications. So this is how the data is supposed to be processed. One thing what we want to do is that either your ERP applications or your analytical applications cannot have the option of directly accessing the information present in your classical databases. That is one thing we need to strongly understand. Okay, now in this particular context, let me talk something about. You can see your classical databases exist in your secondary hard disk may be existing in the form of gigabytes or terabytes. You hope you understand, right? This data will be existing in the form of gigabytes or terabytes. Example is that it might be in the form of 500 gigabytes or something like 10 terabytes of information it might be there. here. But on a general usage, what is the size of RAM that you can have? The size of RAM what you can have here is going to be your 32 GB to 64 GB. You can have something like the size of the RAM is going to be something like 34 GB to 64 GB of RAM you can have here. So that means that how much amount of data can be fitted in this RAM here? Only a very fraction amount of data that is fitted in this particular RAM. And every time when you want to process some amount of data, you need to flush the data, existing data, and then you need to bring in the new data. So that means that as a result, what is happening is that so many times the data has to be paged in and paged out of your main memory, and the analytical users or the ERP applications may not have the option of querying or reporting your complete data that is present in this particular database. Okay, so that means that these are all the limitations what you are having. These are all the limitations what you are having while accessing your classical databases. So the disadvantages are like this. Okay, one disadvantage is the complete data may not be available for your reporting and analysis. Okay, and the second thing is that whenever you want to access a particular piece of data, every time you need to bring the data from your secondary disk to the primary memory for the purpose of accessing. So there is a lot of time delay that is going to happen, and the time delay is also called as the data latency what we call, and the time delay is also treated as the data latency what we call. So as a result, what is going to happen is that much of your data, okay, is not available for your reporting and analysis. So for this particular purpose, what they have done is, what SAP has done is, SAP has come up with one type of solution, and that particular type of solution is nothing but your in-memory computing solution. In-memory computing solution. In-memory computing solution here. Okay. In the case of this in-memory computing solution, please give me a minute. Sorry. In this in-memory computing solution, what happens is your databases now does not need to exist within the secondary disk, but you can have the option of having your databases existing within RAM. You can have your databases existing within RAM, and your RAM capacity right now is going to be your 34 GB to 64 GB. But now, with the help of your in-memory computing, your RAM need not be this 32 GB to 64 GB. It might be something around 500 GB to 1 terabyte in size. 500 GB to 1 terabyte in size. So that means that what happens here, with the introduction of your in-memory computing, what happens is that the entire enterprise information, instead of having in your secondary disk, it can have the option of existing within your RAM itself as a complete enterprise database. As a complete enterprise database, you can have the option of having your data completely existing within RAM. Okay, since if you know, if the data is existing within RAM, what I can do is that I can have exponential rate of processing power, okay, for the purpose of reporting the data, as well as there is no time delay that happens here. Earlier, what you used to do, you used to transfer the data from the classical database to the main memory, but since your data is already existing here, okay, within the click of a button, or else within few clicks, you will be able to do every operation that what you are very much interested. So that is the reason, since HANA is a type of database that is existing within RAM, what happens is that, since this database is existing within RAM, it can have the option of giving you a very high analytical performance, either with your transactions or else with your reporting and analysis. So that is the reason what we do is that we call this particular HANA database as a high performance analytical appliance. We call this particular HANA database as high performance analytical appliance, what we call. And this particular product is nothing but your SAP product, and the version of SAP HANA what you're having here is SAP HANA 1.0 support package 6. This is the package what we are having at this point of time. So in short, in case if anyone asks you what exactly is this particular HANA, one thing what we can say is that it is nothing but a database. It is just like a database like other databases like Oracle, SQL Server and all. Okay, but what type of database it is? It is nothing but an in-memory computing database that exists within RAM, okay, which has the capability of storing gigabytes and terabytes of data, okay, with the fully loaded enterprise information, okay, that will give the users a very high-end performance, especially for the purpose of doing the transactions or else for the purpose of doing your reporting and analysis. So that's why what we do is that we call this particular HANA as high performance analytical appliance. Okay. Did anybody is anybody having the questions about this particular HANA at this point of time, or you are all okay? Kindly request everybody to say either yes or no within the chat window. In case if you are understood, that is fine. In case if you are not understood, please let me know your question. I'll be able to understand. I'll be able to answer your question here. Okay. The first version of HANA is yeah. Please tell me. Anjan, please tell me what is your question. The first version of HANA is going to be HANA 1.0 SP1, Service Pack 1. Yeah, please tell me. Oh, who has raised the question here? Somebody is raising the question. Yeah, please Nanda, tell me. This HANA has got into the market in early 2012. Okay. And what background you need to ramp up HANA? Okay, that I'm going to discuss in this particular session, Anshuman. Okay. Basis or BW in the sense I didn't get you. We are going to discuss this one here. Okay. Now, let me talk about two things here. The databases what you are having here in any either in SAP or non-SAP can be classified into two types. Okay. First type of databases are nothing but your OLTP databases, and second type of database is what is called as your OLAP databases. Suppose when you try to take your SAP product itself, you call SAP R3 or your SAP ECC, as your transactional database or else your online transactional database. And yeah, Sachin, please tell me your question. Sachin and Nandakishore. Could you kindly type your question in the chat window if you don't mind? SAP ECC application, and the second type of applications what you are having here are OLAP applications. We call this one as SAP BI. Okay, and basically these OLTP databases are the online transaction processing databases are basically used for the purpose of doing your online transactions. And SAP BI is something that can be used for the purpose of your reporting and analysis. Is basically used for the purpose of your Anjan, you can type your question. So what type of database it stores in RAM? Okay, is that your question you're talking about? 1 minute. What type of database it stores in RAM? No. It is not a Oracle database. It is strictly called as a HANA database only. When you take SAP ECC, SAP ECC exists in other databases, right? Okay, it can exist in Adarbus. Okay, it can exist in Oracle, like that it can exist. But HANA itself is a database. Okay, there is no need for you to have another secondary database for the purpose of hosting your HANA basically. Okay, Nanda does it. Okay, fine, thank you. No, so this is a transactional system and this is what is an analytical system here. Okay, one thing what we need to really understand is that your SAP HANA is not only a transactional system, is not only an analytical system, okay, but it has the capabilities of storing both your transactional data as well as it can also have the option of storing both your analytical data also. So that's why what we do is that we call this one as a hybrid database. Hybrid database possessing OLTP characteristics along with your OLAP characteristics also. It is a hybrid database that possesses OLTP and along with your OLAP characteristics also. So that is the reason what we can say is that SAP HANA is an in-memory computing hybrid database that exists within RAM, okay, which has the capability of storing a massive amount of data, either it is structured data or else it is unstructured data also, which has the capability of storing massive amount of data, okay, that will be used for high-end analytical applications, that can use for your high-end analytical applications. So that is the way we'll be able to use these particular things. How can I check the question mark? I don't know. Okay, I'll do that one. Ashwath, SAP BA knowledge is not required for the purpose of learning SAP HANA, but the great point is that, you know, but the great point is within this particular SAP HANA itself, what are the funda that is required for learning SAP BA, that will be dealt in this particular class. As such, a separate knowledge is not required for the purpose of learning SAP BA. Okay. How can I check this question? I don't know. Okay, fine. How about data services? Data services is a must. We'll be learning in and out of data services in this particular class. Okay. And one more thing is that BW is powered by SAP HANA. Not only BW Nandakishore, the entire SAP business applications what you have, either it is ECC or else it is CRM or else it is your COPA and all. Okay. In the latest versions of HANA, what you are going to have is that you are going to have your HANA, okay, and all the SAP business applications sitting on the top of HANA. That is the trend that we are going to see here. Okay. Okay, thank you. Now see here. I'm calling this one as a hybrid database here that holds both OLTP along with the OLAP characteristics. Okay, and one more thing is, if at all if you are working in a database, okay, forget about HANA for some time. If you are working in a particular database, okay, can you please let me know what are all the different types of operations that you can perform in this database? What are all the different types of operations that we need to perform in any particular database? Okay, first thing is that obviously a database is nothing but a collection of tables. A database is nothing but a collection of tables, views, synonyms, procedures and functions, where we are expected to create the structures in order to populate these structures with the data. So here the first activity what we do is that we try to do this particular modeling activity. The first activity what we are supposed to do is we are expected to do this particular modeling activity a lot. Okay, once the modeling activity is completed, your table structures are created. Okay, once your table structures are created, the next thing what we are expected to do is that we need to fill these particular table structures with the data. We need to fill these particular table structures with the data. Okay, and that particular process of loading the data into your SAP HANA database, loading the data into your SAP HANA database is what is called as replicating the data into SAP HANA, or else we also call this one as data loading. Okay, or else we also call this one as data provisioning, what we call here. P-R-O-S-I-O-N. Provisioning, what we call here. This is what is called as data provisioning, what we call. This is the second thing. So once we do this particular process, what we expect is we expect your data to be existing in your HANA database. Please mind you, your data is not existing in your secondary disk or hard drive, but your data is going to exist within RAM, which is nothing but your in-memory computing database, and which is the HANA database itself. HANA database need not to depend on other databases like Oracle, SQL Server, something of that sort. It has its own database. That is another thing what we need to understand here. Okay, you know SAP ECC or SAP BW depends on MaxDB databases and all, but HANA itself is having a own database, and it is a database in its own right. Okay, it is a database in its own right. Okay, now let me suspend these questions for some time. Now, once you are loaded with this particular data, what exactly I want to do is that I want to query this data. I really want to query this data for the purpose of your reporting and analysis. Okay, for the purpose of querying this particular data, what we do is that we try to have one more type of concept that we need to use. Which is nothing but your reporting piece, which is also called as your analytical piece. Reporting and analytical piece. Reporting and analytical piece, what we call here. This is what is called as reporting and analytical piece here. These are the three operations that we do in any particular database, and HANA is also not different. In SAP HANA also, what we need to do is that we need to model the structures of your database. Okay, in SAP HANA also, what we need to do is that we need to load the data into this SAP HANA, which is also called as replication, data loading or data provisioning, and we also need to do your reporting and analysis based on the data that is present in this particular database. Based on this data that is present in this database. So what would be the cost difference between HANA compared to the traditional database, seeing that HANA data is going to sit in RAM? Anjan, let me tell you one thing. There are a couple of scaling factors that we need to take into consideration, okay, especially when you are talking and comparing about traditional databases and classical databases. Obviously, cost is going to be more, okay, but the benefits what you are going to get out of this particular in-memory computing, is going to be more worthy rather than the cost that is going to be involved here. Example is that, suppose if you have a report, okay, which is running for 1 hour, in the case of your traditional databases like Oracle or SQL Server, that particular report can be executed in a fraction of a second, okay, on the HANA database which is sitting in RAM. Okay, that means that the reporting time difference is going to be something like 3,600 times faster when you try to compare with your traditional databases here. So in such a case, organizations will try to compare with respect to the cost, right? That is one thing. And second thing is that people are very much interested to understand, okay, the real-time reporting. What do you mean by the real-time reporting? As soon as your transactions are committed in the database, I really want to have those particular data. Okay, I really want to have that particular data to be available for your reporting and analysis immediately. In such a case, the traditional databases does not help. Okay, obviously what we need to do is that we need to use this particular RAM, HANA itself. So that's why cost factor is going to be there, but apart from that particular cost factor, the other factors are going to be much more advantageous basically. Okay, so Rohit, I'll be telling you about this data provisioning in a short while. Okay. And Sachin's question is like this. You take care of. Yeah, obviously there is going to be a backup strategy that is going to be there, Sachin, and we'll be discussing that one once we deal with respect to the architecture, but not right now, basically. Okay. The reason is The reason is you obviously have a persistent layer. Obviously, you are having a backup and recovery mechanism that exists basically in the form of the secondary store. Sachin, does it answer your question, Sachin? And the kind of analysis performance benefit is modeling done in the modeling stage or even before. It cannot be the case, Anshuman. Why? Because you are going to have a customized modeling that we are going to do in SAP HANA, and that modeling is going to be completely different from the modeling what you do in the traditional databases. Okay. Anshuman, does it answer your question? Can I use traditional database and HANA together seeing that HANA is costlier? This is only to keep important data, and see, HANA is not, 1 minute. HANA is not basically to keep only the important data. HANA is basically used to keep the entire massive data, big data. Okay, so that's why when you are given the option of storing all your complete data in your HANA database, all your complete data in a HANA database, there is no point in keeping only the important data, right? So that is the reason there is no need for you to use the secondary database basically over there in order to save the cost. Cost is not going to be a factor basically when organizations tend to use performance and analytics more when compared to the cost. Okay, can you unmute me, Anshuman Kotwa? How can I unmute you, sir? 1 minute. I think I don't have the option to unmute you. Yeah, you are unmuted.
Okay. If we need to implement HANA within our company, how do you go about it? Is this a management decision to implement? Because if the management decides, we need to have some kind of numerical benefit numbers. I cannot speak in air and say 1 hour will become 1 second and because it depends upon a lot of other factors which will be.
1 minute. Anshuman, please mute yourself. I understand your question. Anshuman, please mute yourself. I understand your question. The thing is, it is going to be a management decision only. Okay, but for the management to decide whether to really go for HANA or not, you really cannot project the exact numbers. You cannot really project the exact numbers, but you can have the ability to justify the pros and cons with respect to the weightage factors. And one more thing is that nobody will directly go for real-time implementation on SAP HANA. Okay, based on their organization environment and all, they'll try to implement a POC. They'll try to implement a POC on SAP HANA. Okay, in case if that particular POC is going to give them the first cut of the real-time benefits, then they may go for the real-time implementation. Okay, but at the initial stages, we really can't justify the management that is going to be like this much amount of quantification of numbers we can show. That is not possible. I agree with you. And second thing is that obviously, if very dedicated HANA POCs have been done, okay, showing the enormous benefits that are being done, showing the enormous benefits that are being shown, okay, with respect to the reporting and the transactions on the other databases with respect to your reporting databases. Obviously, in the first attempt, we cannot justify. So, in order to get the management to confirm and then satisfy whether they need to go on SAP HANA and all, we exactly need to do a POC. And there are organizations which have done that POC first and later they went for the real-time implementation. That is how this HANA is being used basically, Anshuman. Does it answer your question, Anshuman? Anjan, please give me a minute, like let me complete these things and then I'll come back to you, sir, if you don't mind. Anshuman, does it answer your question or? Okay. Now, these are the 3 areas what I have told you. One is modeling, second one is reporting, and third one is going to be our reporting and analytical piece here. But let me tell you, in any type of platform, HANA is not something that is going to be used as a source. HANA is something that is going to be used as a secondary database for the purpose of getting the data. HANA is going to be used as a secondary database for the purpose of getting the data from different types of systems here. Okay, let me show you the diagram so that you can understand. You are seeing here, right? You have your databases, you are having your applications as well as you are having your files, okay, containing this data in the form of your structured and unstructured form. Containing the data in the form of your structured and unstructured form here. Okay, so for all these particular databases, HANA itself is supposed to be used as a target. HANA itself is supposed to be used as a target for the purpose of transferring the data. The reason why I want to go for HANA is once I introduce HANA, let me not use the databases which are using your secondary disk or traditional disk. Okay, let me try to transfer all the data which is existing in the secondary disk into the primary storage and then start enjoying the benefits, enjoying the taste. So for this particular purpose, what I need to do is that I obviously need to move the data. From the different types of systems into your SAP HANA database. So trying to move the data from the different types of engines into SAP HANA database is what is called as data replication, or else what we do is that we call this as data provisioning process. Is what is called as data provisioning process. Okay, and SAP HANA as a in-memory computing database supports the three types of replication. SAP HANA as an in-memory computing database supports three types of replication. Okay, one type of replication is nothing but the ETL-based replication, and second type of replication is nothing but the log-based replication, and third type of replication is nothing but the trigger-based replication. We'll be seeing these three things here. First thing is, trigger-based replication is something that will be using your SAP ECC as the source. SAP ECC as the source. Okay, and trigger-based replication is also called as SLT. SLT stands for SAP Landscape Transform. So I'll try to tell you this SLT Landscape Transform at a very high level. What exactly is going to happen is that suppose if you are having a KNA1 table, and to that particular KNA1 table, what happens is you are having some inserts or updates that are being happening to that particular database table, and as soon as these particular operations are being done, immediately I want to have my data to be triggered into this particular HANA database. Okay, in such a case, what I do is that I call such type of replication as the trigger-based replication, and trigger-based replication in the case of SAP HANA is also treated as SLT. You're seeing here, right? This is what is your SAP ECC system, and within your ECC system, you have your data that triggers this SLT for the purpose of bringing the data into your SAP HANA database. That is one type of replication what we call. Okay, and there is second type of replication that we really need to focus on. That is nothing but in case if you have your data existing in all these particular databases, whether it is structured or whether it is unstructured, whether it is SAP BW or else whether it is Netezza or whatever it is. For all these things, if you want to bring the data onto this particular platform, okay, obviously we are supposed to use one type of tool. The tool is nothing but your SAP ETL tool, which is nothing but your Business Objects Data Services, which is very, very important, and which is the entire crux or the focus of your entire SAP HANA module. So that means that what we can say is that SAP Business Objects Data Services is an ETL tool that will use any of these particular specified databases, the different types of source systems. We need to develop some ETL jobs, okay, in order to bring the data into this SAP HANA. But there is a major difference between these two things here. Okay, periodic loading of data is being done from these different databases into this SAP HANA using Business Objects Data Services. Okay, and real-time replication of data. What does it mean? As soon as your transactions are committed in the database, I really want to have your data immediately available for my reporting and analysis in the form of your dashboards and all. Then I use this particular SLT. Okay. Otherwise, okay, today morning I'm doing my business transactions, but at the end of the business day, I want to have my data to be available for reporting analysis on the next day. In such a case, what I do is that I use this particular SAP Business Objects Data Service. That is the main difference between your. Can't we replicate using BW instead of? Can't we replicate using? No, we can't replicate using BW instead of BODS. But there is one thing that has come. DX has come, and that is SAP HANA DX, direct connection to the SAP BW. Okay, where you will be able to bring that particular data. Okay, but that is not being used in a full-fledged scale. But instead of that particular DX connection, that is a direct connection, people are using BODS for the purpose of getting the data basically. Okay, Nanda. Okay, fine. And what is the other question that has been asked? The kind of analysis performs better is done in the modeling stage or even, I think that I have answered that question. Okay, so this is the second thing. And there is third thing that we need to talk about, which is nothing but your log-based replication. So you can see in this PPT, there is one more type of replication that exists, which is nothing but the log-based replication, and we call this one as Sybase replication. You understand, right? Any database does have some logs that are being generated at the end of the day. So from those, by examining those particular logs, if you want to identify the changes, and then if you want to get your data into this SAP HANA database, then what we do is that we prefer to go with this SAP log-based replication. But generally what we do is that we try to focus only on your SLD part, or else we also try to focus on your ETL-based replication. ETL-based replication is going to be the main replication that we are going to use in order to bring the data from your EC systems into your HANA database basically. Okay. Next, what is the question? Can only BODS is an ETL tool? Guys, Rohit. For now, the other ETL tools does not has been provided with the appropriate drivers for the purpose of connecting to SAP HANA. BODS, since it is a product of your SAP, it has only been provided the corresponding drivers and all for the purpose of connecting to this SAP HANA. Rohit, okay. And I don't say that BODS is only the ETL tool, but I can also say that BODS is the preferred ETL tool. Why? Because the semantics of your, let me show you here. When you go here, okay, when you come onto your SAP HANA Studio, 1 minute. You are able to see the screen, right, guys? Anshuman and all. When you come onto this studio, okay, here there is something called as a data provisioning that exists, okay. And one more thing is that you are having something called as a configure import server. What has been configured here? It is only this data services only has been configured. So that's why business objects data services is there in the blood of HANA, or it is there in the landscape of SAP HANA basically. So that's why, okay, business objects is the preferred tool. Maybe in the future what is going to happen is that other tools might be given the interfaces for reading the data, writing the data into SAP HANA, but since both are going to be your SAP products, BODS is only the preferred tool basically, okay. That is the way we try to get the data from 3 different types of mechanisms in order to get the data into this SAP HANA. In order to get the data into this SAP HANA. I'll do that one, Nanda. Please wait for some time, okay? No. The other thing what you are having here is, this is the HANA database, and SAP HANA, I told you, right, the first type of operation that you need to do is nothing but the modeling activity, and this modeling activity is supposed to be done with a type of Eclipse based studio, and what we do is that we call this particular Eclipse based studio as SAP HANA Studio. So this is the place where you are supposed to do your development activity, modeling activities, administration activities, lifecycle management activities. Everything is supposed to be done only from this particular HANA Studio only. Okay, so here you're going to have 2 types of things that are going to be created. One is nothing but your physical database creation that is going to be created, and second thing is that in the catalog, the physical database is going to be created, and similarly when you come down, you're going to have the logical modeling that is going to be done. Okay, this is the logical modeling that is going to give you an edge over the other reporting tools what you have. These are all the different types of views that you are going to create within this particular content modeling. Okay, for the purpose of giving your giving your reporting tools the leverage or the edge of performance benefits when compared with the other reporting tools, basically, the other databases here. So HANA Studio is the place where the modeling activities are supposed to be carried out, and the replication of data is being done by three things. One is ETL based replication. The second one is, what is the other one? The SLT based replication, which is nothing but the trigger based replication, and third one is nothing but your log based replication. These are the three things that we generally focus on here in this particular case. Okay. Apart from these three things, you have your data here. Okay. Once you have your data, what exactly I need to do? This is the step that I want to do here. I want to query this data. You can see this particular step, right? I can show you here. You can see this particular thing here. What I want to do here? I want to have my data to be used for the purpose of your reporting, analysis, dashboards, scorecards, and everything here. So that means that I need to use the different types of reporting tools in order to query the HANA database. Just like that, you are using any reporting tool to be connected with traditional databases, assuming that you may be using BEX, okay, for the purpose of querying your SAP BW system. Like this, we can have the business objects, Cognos, MicroStrategy, OBAE, like those particular reporting tools. Like those reporting tools, when you want to use reporting features to be used with this particular SAP HANA, that is the place where your reporting and analytical options will come into the picture. So basically, business objects, yes, Vasudev. Business objects is equally important here. Business objects is equally important here. So that is the reason what we want to do is that SAP business objects is having multiple tools that we need to use here, basically. Multiple tools that we need to use. Okay, what are all the multiple tools that we need to use here is, let me show you this particular system so that you can understand. When I say SAP Business Object Suite, one thing is that I can have the option of using your Crystal reports, Enterprise 4 and 2011 as the reporting tools. I can also have the option of using your dashboards for the purpose of creating different types of dashboards. This particular dashboards earlier was called as Excel CS. Okay. Now in business objects also you are having different types of tools. Either those tools might be your reporting tools in the form of your web intelligence rich client, or else you can also have the option of your SAP business objects BA Java Launchpad. This also I can use here. So these many reporting tools I can use. If at all, if you are not interested in any of these particular Jaji tools, okay, obviously you have one more tool that exists, which is nothing but your Microsoft Excel. Even with the help of your Microsoft Excel also, what you can have is you can have the HANA connectivity that has been established, and you can directly connect to your HANA database for the purpose of creating your efficient reporting and analysis. For the purpose of creating your efficient reporting and analysis, basically. Okay. In such a case, please see this particular diagram here. Maybe it is all drawings. 1 minute. Where is this one, sir? You can see here, right? This is what is your semantic layer, business intelligence clients and SAP HANA 1.0. Okay, what is the question it is asked? Okay, so here you can see, right? We can use WebI, we can use dashboards, you can use Excel and Crystal reports. You can also have the option of using your Explorer and Analysis Office. These many tools we can use for the purpose of querying this particular HANA database, basically. Okay, if at all, if you are not using any of these tools, obviously I have told you, right, you can also have the option of using your Microsoft Excel to query this particular data. Okay, so that is how your reporting piece is going to be there. So in your course curriculum, what we are going to do is that we are going to focus on your three aspects, basically in depth. When I say in depth, that in-depth coverage is supposed to lead to certification also, certification of SAP HANA. We cover HANA architecture, introduction, landscape, and SAP HANA ecosystem in depth. That is one thing. Second thing is that in the Excel sheet I have shown you the type of modeling what you are supposed to do with the help of your HANA Studio. That is the second thing that we are going to really focus on. That is the second thing what we are going to really focus on. That is the second thing which is very much important for us. This is very much important to us. This is the modeling aspect that we need to do. Okay. Now we are going to focus very much technically on the data loading and provisioning aspects. Data loading and provisioning aspects. So Vasudev, when I say that DS is going to be covered, it is going to be covered in depth. I say in depth, so that you will be a master of using this particular data services for the purpose of pulling the data from any system in order to get the data into this SAP HANA database. So the in-depth coverage is going to be there with respect to your data services. Okay, so what is the next question? So basically there is a SAP and non-SAP source being put into using SLT and data services. Yes, this was there. Okay, so this is the second thing that is going to be very much focusing on using your SLT and using your business objects data services. Once that is done, we are going to focus on this particular reporting piece and all. Okay, so here let me tell you, we are going to have this particular SAP HANA introduction and architecture that is going to be covered in depth. You'll be given, will be introduced to the new terms, as well as you'll be introduced to the different types of roles and architectures what you're having over there. Okay, and you'll be introduced with the SAP HANA architecture landscape, the sizing considerations. So whatever all the questions what has been asked in today's class, that is going to be covered in this particular HANA introduction and architecture basically. Okay, once this is done, with the help of SAP HANA Studio, we are going to cover two types of modeling. One is nothing but your basic modeling, and second type of modeling is nothing but your advanced modeling. Okay, so what is the main difference between your basic modeling and advanced modeling? Those particular features are going to be covered in depth in the second class. Okay, apart from that one, we'll be focusing much more on data provisioning. What are this data provisioning here? We'll be using data services and the Sybase replication. Sybase replication will be dealing with respect to the concepts, but not much focus on your Sybase replication, but much more focus is going to be given on your SLT replication along with your business objects data services components. These are all the things which are going to cover very much in depth as far as this data provisioning is concerned. Okay, and then a bit of administration things are also going to be covered. A bit of administration things are also going to be covered, like creating the users and creating the security management and profile management. That particular part also we'll see. Okay. Apart from these things, we'll also be covering the end-to-end business objects concepts using the different types of reporting tools in order to query this particular SAP in-memory database for the purpose of creating these different types of reporting analysis and dashboards. That particular part also is going to be covered in depth as far as this particular course is concerned. So see, basically the rule of thumb is I'll be taking some 30 to 35 sessions for the purpose of completing this particular curriculum. 30 to 35 sessions for the purpose of completing this particular curriculum. Each session running for a period of 1 hour in this particular same time slot. If there are some other time slots that we can discuss offline. Okay, we will have the classes regularly from Monday to Friday, or possibly Saturday also, but Saturday I'll try to keep it for myself. That is another thing. Okay, and third thing is that you'll be given the server access, and you need to practice everything. Suppose if 1 hour is the class that is going to happen, almost 1 or 2 hours you need to have a good hands-on in order to make sure that you cover everything with respect to the practical aspects of SAP HANA. That is the third thing. And fourth thing is, I cover this particular course from the certification point of view. There are a couple of people, not in couple of people, in dozens of people who have done this particular course and then who have got them certified and working on various POCs and other projects of HANA. I really don't bluff basically. The reason is that I don't say that every person who has done the course is doing a project on SAP HANA. Why? Because the real-time flavor of SAP HANA projects only has been started right now, and eventually it is going to gear up its recurring activities basically. Sachin, I'll take it offline. Okay. HANA certification exam and all we'll discuss in some time. Why? Because I'm running out of time, and if there are any other questions regarding the content of the course coverage, duration, lab aspects, okay, server access issues, anything if you are having, you please let me know. I'll be able to answer this one. And any other thing regarding with respect to the commercials, Vasudev, I told you that I'm going to cover these things. I'm going to cover BW as well. What are the BW aspects that we are going to use for the purpose of pulling the data with respect to the info cubes, open hub destinations, info spokes, info objects, DSOs, that particular part is going to be covered, okay. But my only concern is that please don't expect too much on this particular SAP BA in HANA. That is one thing that I want to tell you. How many days will be given the access after the course is completed? For that one, I kindly request you to get in touch with Ravi. He'll be able to answer that question very well, Anshuman, if you don't mind. If you are curious enough of getting a job, we are also very much curious to provide you the server access as many days you want. Offline discussion, that's what I'm telling. Can you get a job purely on SAP HANA without having any SAP experience in particular? This is a black and white question. We can discuss it offline, Sachin. Not that my intention is not to discuss offline. Yes, there are particular aspects in SAP HANA that you can really focus on. Okay. First thing is, please see here. You can go as a modeler. SAP HANA modeler you can go. In case if you are having some experience in reporting tools, you can try to showcase yourself as an experience in business objects, you can go. And if you are technically well equipped with any ETL tool, you can focus your experience on business objects data services, and then you can go as an SAP SAP HANA ETL consultant. Okay. Otherwise, if you are very good in all the end-to-end aspects, you can very well go as an SAP HANA architect also as well. So those many options are there. Maybe in the next class or so, I'm going to discuss with you these aspects, the roles and skill mapping of this SAP HANA here. You are seeing the slide, right, Sachin? What type of a report developer you can use as go as a ETL developer, you can go as a systems architect, business process owner and analyst. So what are the roles and what are the skill sets that you need to match with respect to SAP HANA that we will be discussing. My intention is not to discuss it offline, but you know, it takes a couple of minutes for discussing that one. That is the reason I just kept it postponing for the next minute basically. Okay.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand so that I can unmute you directly. You can ask that Ravi. Anyone having any questions, so you can raise your hand. So you have raise your hand symbol is there, so you can raise your hand. So I thought it was everyone is clear.
Thanks, Ray.
Yeah, Swaroop. Yeah, Sachin.
Thanks, Vasu. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, Sachin, you can ask the question.
Where is Sachin?
Yes,
Sachin is there. Where is Sachin? I think Sachin is not coming here. I don't see Sachin here.
Sachin Yadav. Raise your hand.
Vasudev, you can ask the questions. Yeah, Sachin is there. Yeah, please tell me, Sachin. Yeah, Vasudev, please tell me.
Hello.
Otherwise, yeah, please tell me, Vasudev.
Yeah, Ravi, I'm actually I did not raise my hand. I think it was somebody else. I got. I think Ravi unmuted me.
Okay. Do you have any questions by chance?
Well, you know, I do have a question. You know, I do have a data migration previous experience, and we use different kind of ETL tools. And you know, recently I've been, and I'm a regular SDN. You know, just visiting SAP site and just very curious and all stuff on the HANA. But more from your presentation, and it was a nice demo. What my concern is, you know, since it's like, you know, it's going to be fast-paced, and you know, your core structure is kind of, you know, spread out for 30 days. What I'm seeing is, you know, basically I think it's kind of a little bit lengthier, and how I'm just trying to figure out what I mean every day 2 hours. How do we get all this material just digested?
One thing, Vasudev, first thing is that learning and mastering SAP HANA is not a rocket science, first thing. Okay. And second thing about this one is, let me tell you, basically the thumb rule is that to have 30 classes, 30 1-hour sessions, okay, to make sure that you go through these particular concepts and then have a good hands-on by touching the surface and a bit into the internals of this particular aspects basically. Okay, but obviously out of curiosity, if anybody would like to explore more, and then if they want to do it at a faster pace and then they want to do that one, obviously I can help you out. That should not be a problem, Vasudev.
Okay, okay, sure, definitely. The only thing is, I travel a lot. I'm a traveling consultant, so I'm just trying to see. I think like myself, a lot of people would be interested more to learn on the HANA side of it. So every day, 1 hour or 1.5 hours, because they're definitely at the end of the session we're going to have some question and answers kind of a thing. So that will probably lead to another hour and a half. What my general concern is basically, okay, you will finish the first session. Before even you know it, the second session will come through, and before even you know it, the third session will come. So everybody's kind of preoccupied. So how much time we need to just catch up with this stuff and go back and work through? So 30 days will probably become like another 60 days. So I mean, everybody's interested to just just do it fast.
It is not like that, but see, it depends on the interest of the particular individual. Okay, how early you would like to come up to the speed. That is one thing that is done. Okay,
I agree. Yeah.
And second thing is, if you are really interested to spend many hours of time, okay, we also have the open options for you so that you can attend. That is the second thing. And third thing is that, yes, theoretically, if you are spending some 1 hour or 1.5 hour class, equivalent amount of time in case if you can spend in practical sessions also, that will give you a good boost, right? Basically, that is only the concern, basically.
Okay. And one quick question, Ravi. I don't know. I mean, more from a presentation point of view. Do you have any real-time hands-on experience? Have you worked on projects on HANA?
Yeah, I have worked on POCs on HANA, and we're in the mid of doing one particular project, for a retail sector right now. Yeah.
Okay. I think
it is not that please listen to me. Your name is Vasudev, right?
Yes,
it is not that I just read the theory, grasp the subject, and then deliver it to you. Such type of person is not mine, basically.
Okay. No. That was not my intention. But
yeah, I can understand. But
since HANA is pretty new, I know a lot of people are still trying to adapt.
It's still 1.5 year old. It is not pretty new. It is 1.5 year old in the market. Yeah.
Yep. I think that's it, Ravi. So
yeah,
basically, I appreciate it. I think you're pretty much. I know now. I got the point that why is it taking 30 days? Because you're pretty much covering everything. And I think probably it's up to the people.
Yeah, I really want to cover anything. I really want to cover everything that they need to make up their complete mind. Okay, before they take on the next positions of SAP HANA. Basically, that is the reason I intend to cover everything. Okay.
Sure.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Ravi. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Vasudev, this is Ravi.
Yeah, Sachin. Yeah.
Ravi. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, the HANA course is two types of the course, like administration and one more is associate development. So admin and associate both on one shot you can go and cover in this complete training. As per Ravi's course content, everything, it will be going to cover administration. Almost 70% administration also going to cover in this level. So you will be get the administration point of view also.
Okay. Got it. Thanks, Ravi.
Okay.
Thank you. So Sachin, please tell me. Hello. Sachin, you are telling something, right? Okay, 1 minute. Let me go there. Do you provide any aspirants to gain X? I will be providing you very good, decent assignments. I will be providing you, Sachin. No doubt on that one. Okay, Anshuman has asked one more question. I think we are done for today, Nandkishore. We are done for today. And Anjan has asked one thing. What is that question he has asked? I don't know. So basically, BO reporting is taken too important to have. Yeah, Anjuman has asked one question. Sachin Yadav. Ashwath, can you please ask your question? You are having something to ask.
Yes. You said that we will be having the classes on the weekends too, right?
Yeah, weekends we are planning to have a separate batch, most probably in the evenings, not in the morning times of India. Okay. Evenings, evening times basically. We'll be informing you in case if you are interested during weekends.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just hoping that, you know, if we get the weekend off, we can actually practice on stuff instead of
Actually weekend batch is separate and regular batch is going to separate. So Monday to Friday classes will be there, and Saturday Sunday will be going to weekend batch. There is no weekends for the regular batch because you need to do a lot of practice on and everything. Hands-on practice you need, so that you need to be practice on that. That will be a practice sessions for the Saturday and Sunday for you.
Okay.
No, this is another Ravi, organizer Ravi. Nanda, this is organizer Ravi, I mean this one. Okay. Now, yeah.
Okay, so that means Saturdays we don't have class, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Anshuman, you have any question?
No, actually I was more interested in seeing how he would tell or discuss a technical stuff. Like,
you please attend one more class tomorrow and then you'll be able to understand the depth of technicality that is being covered in SAP.
what do you actually do on a day-to-day basis? In the sense, if you are trying to impress me, then this is one thing which I find hard. Niku, you are trying to impress me to take the training, and you have my 1 hour undivided attention. How will I be impressed then? I want you to tell me something which I cannot find on the internet. You enroll me in the class and then you bullshit anything. I cannot do anything.
No, I didn't get you. Can you please repeat the question? Hello? Yeah, you can do that one. Nanda, you can join the session tomorrow. Anshuman, you are telling something. Can you please repeat that one? Yeah, same time.
Ante, and I think this guy works for SAP. ఇప్పుడు మాట్లాడిన అబ్బాయి.
Yeah, bye.
But he opened SAP slides. I don't know how he would have got SAP slides unless somebody put SAP slides by today. I would have got them.
Anshuman, your voice is breaking. So that's why you can't get that completely.
Niku, if you want the class, I can give you whatever he spoke today because it was recorded.
Yeah, Sachin, you have any question? Hello? Nanda, please tell me. Hello? Hello, Nanda?
Ravi, this is Anjan here. Can I ask you one question?
Yeah, please tell me.
Will there be any small project or to be done at the end of the course?
Case study, I'll be giving you that which you need to do during the mid of the course. During the tenure of the course, we'll be doing the case study basically. That way I'll help you out.
Okay. Then primarily when we do this replication process, are we talking about bringing the tables from SAP ECC or from anywhere else?
Both. SAP ECC, non-SAP and SAP BW. These three things we'll be focusing on basically. Okay?
So we would be doing the replication from all the three source systems?
Yeah, all the three sources is in detail.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
This is Nanda.
Yeah, Nanda. Tell me.
Tomorrow I can join the class, isn't it? For the
Yeah,
test
7 to 8 you
process
can
one
join.
minute.
Not a problem at all.
7 to 8 Indian time.
Yeah, 7 to 8 Indian time.
Is the access code the same one?
And Ravi will be able to help you on that one. Ravi, you will be able to help, right?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to send you that and tomorrow and day after tomorrow
Okay.
classes, timelines as well.
Okay,
Okay,
I guess
fine.
you must have my email address, so please do send the curriculum as well. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
to go through that.
Yeah, otherwise you can drop me one text mail for me, info@ARP.
Is the same one? Ravi ERP elegance at whatever it is.
No problem, you
Okay,
can
okay.
send me any mail.
Okay. What's the trainer name? Who's the trainer here?
Yeah,
I'm actually
trainer,
getting
Ravi.
confused.
yeah, actually both we are Ravi. So the trainer name is
Okay.
RK.
Okay then. So I will be waiting for your email. Do you want me to send a test mail now through my email address, or you would be sending the curriculum and
Yeah,
next
everything.
session access code?
Yeah, everything and every details I'm going to send it to right away.
Okay, I would be expecting your email then. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay, guys, and
So anything else?
yeah.
So this is Ashok here. Yeah, I have one more question. If we have any doubts, what is the best way to contact you and get the your feedback?
See, you can drop a mail to me, okay, as well as I'll give my business number so that you can also call that particular business number with Ravi's permission. Okay, so either way you can drop, and immediately within a period of some 5 to 6 hours I'll be able to respond to your mail. Okay.
Okay, in that particular time you can put me on CC so I can able to follow up whatever questions and queries and you have. So I'm going to follow up that questions and information as well.
Okay. So, Sachin, final question. Anything from your side before we'll drop off? Sachin? Okay, fine. So, Raviji, can I log off now or you want me to stay?
Yeah, no problem. So guys, tomorrow we can attend the same time we can attend the session 1 timeline. I'll be sending you the complete details and course curriculum details, everything. If you have any questions, you can call me on my number. Yeah.
Sachin, I'll be providing you the actual assignments. Yes, I'll be doing that one for you. No problem.
And one more request. Is it possible to get that webinar request maybe 30 minutes before the training session?
Yeah, he'll send it to you.
Okay, because like today, I got it like 10 minutes after the session started. So.
Oh,
No
okay,
problem.
okay.
He'll help you out in that.
Yeah, right away I'm going to send it to you.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Good night. So if you have any
Thank
questions,
you so much.
drop me a
And
mail. Yeah, Ravi, go ahead.
yeah, thank you. Thanks, Ravi. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Rohit, and we'll meet soon. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.